Colin, Sonny, Larry. Didn't you and he used to be the best of friends?
We're still the best of friends.
No, you're not.
Two best friends stop talking to each other on a tiny Irish island, and one of them starts cutting off his own fingers every time the other guy tries to make contact. That's the plot of the Banshees of Inisherin, and if you think it's just a dark comedy about a bizarre breakup, you're missing what Martin McDonagh is actually doing here. This is a movie about Ireland tearing itself apart, about choosing legacy over kindness, about how violence, even when it's quiet and small, destroys everything it touches. Welcome back. Today we're talking about The Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonagh's 2022 masterpiece that reunites Colin, Farrell and Brendan Gleeson in what might be the saddest, strangest breakup movie ever made. On the surface, it's about two friends on a remote island in 1923. One decides he doesn't want to be friends anymore, the other can't accept it. Things escalate, but underneath, this is about Ireland, about civil war, about the choice between being good and being remembered. Let's get into it. The setup is deceptively simple. Patrick, played by Colin Farrell, is a nice guy. Kind, simple, content. He lives on this tiny island off the coast of Ireland with his sister Siobhan, played by Kerry Condon. Every day he goes to the pub at 2 o'clock to drink with his best friend Colin, played by Brendan Gleeson. That's his routine, that's his life, and he's happy. Then one day, Colin just stops talking to him, won't acknowledge him, won't explain why. When Patrick finally gets an answer, it's brutal. I just don't like you anymore. Now, Colin is a musician, a fiddle player, and he's realised he's running out of time. He wants to create something that lasts, something he'll be remembered for. And Patrick, with his endless nice guy dullness, is holding him back. So Colin makes a deal. Every time Patrick tries to talk to him, he'll cut off one of his own fingers, and he means it. This isn't a threat, this is a promise. And watching Patrick process this, watching him realise his best friend would rather mutilate himself than spend time with him, is devastating. Colin Farrell is doing career best work here. He plays Patrick as genuinely, almost painfully nice. There's no edge to him, no cruelty, no hidden agenda. He's just a good person who wants his friend back. And Farrell finds this heartbreaking sweetness in him without ever making him pathetic. You feel for this guy. You understand why he can't just let it go, because if the person who knows you best decides you're not worth their time, what does that say about you? Brendan Gleeson plays Colin with this weary determination. He's not cruel for the sake of it. He's genuinely tortured by this choice, but he's made it. He'd rather be Mozart than be nice. He'd rather create something beautiful that outlasts him than waste his remaining years on pleasantries. And when he starts cutting off his fingers, it's not melodrama, it's commitment to an idea. The idea that legacy matters more than kindness, that being remembered is worth any sacrifice. But here's what makes this more than just a character study. The Irish Civil War is happening on the mainland. You hear gunfire in the distance, you see smoke. The war's never the focus, but it's always there, hovering at the edges, and that's the point. McDonagh is using this microcosm, this tiny island, this broken friendship, to talk about what Ireland did to itself. Brother against brother. Pointless violence, people choosing sides for reasons they can barely articulate, stubbornness that leads to mutilation and death. Kerry Condon as Siobhan is the conscience of the film. She's smarter than everyone around her, and she knows it. She sees exactly what's happening, and she's desperate to escape. There's this scene where she's reading a book, and Patrick asks what it's about, and she says it's about people who are interesting. The contempt in her voice, the exhaustion. She loves her brother, but she's suffocating on this island, surrounded by men destroying themselves over nothing. Condon plays her with this quiet fury that's absolutely riveting. And then there's Dominic, played by Barry Keoghan, in a performance that will haunt you. He's the village simpleton, abused by his father, desperate for connection. He follows Patrick around like a puppy, and Patrick is kind to him, but even Patrick has limits. There's a moment late in the film where Patrick, broken by everything that's happened, rejects Dominic. And what follows is one of the most devastating sequences McDonagh has ever written. Keoghan plays Dominic with this vulnerability that makes every scene with him feel like watching someone get kicked. The film asks a question that sounds simple but isn't. Is it better to be a good person or to be remembered? Colin thinks he knows the answer. He's choosing art over friendship, legacy over kindness. But McDonagh shows us the cost. Every finger Colin cuts off, he loses his ability to play the fiddle. He's sacrificing the thing he loves to create the thing he wants to be remembered for. And by the end, he's mutilated himself so completely that his dream is impossible. He's destroyed his talent in the name of preserving it. Patrick's art dark is darker. He starts as the nicest person on the island. By the end, he's threatening to burn down Colin's house. The violence that's been simmering underneath, the anger at being rejected, at being told he's not enough, it erupts. And you understand it. You understand how a good person can become cruel when the world keeps telling them their goodness doesn't matter. That's the tragedy. Neither of them wins. They both just lose different parts of themselves. McDonagh shoots this island like it's the edge of the world. Cinematographer Ben Davis captures the bleakness, the beauty, the isolation. The landscape is gorgeous and oppressive at the same time. The pub, the church, the handful of houses. That's the entire universe for these people. And the Irish Civil War happening across the water is both distant and immediate. You can't escape it. It seeps into everything. Even this tiny island isn't safe from the violence tearing Ireland apart. The dialogue is pure McDonagh. It's funny and cruel and poetic. Characters say things that sound casual but land like gut punches. There's a priest character who's hilariously ineffectual, delivering sermons about kindness while everyone around him is falling apart. There's a shopkeeper who gossips and judges. Everyone on this island is complicit in the cruelty, even when they're just watching it happen. That's another layer to the allegory. The Civil War didn't just involve the people fighting, it involved everyone who stood by and let it happen. The ending is bleak but perfect. No reconciliation, no healing. Just two men who destroyed each other over nothing, standing in the ruins of what they had. Patrick tells Colin, I think we're past being nice now. And Colin agrees. They've crossed a line they can't uncross. The friendship is dead, and what's left is just spite and resentment. That's what Civil War does. It takes people who were once united and turns them into enemies who can't even remember why they're fighting. Should you watch this if you're into character-driven dramas that say something beyond their plot? Absolutely. If you want to see Colin Farrell and Gleeson do some of the best work of their careers, don't miss it. If you like your movies dark and funny and sad all at once, this is it. But if you need things to be resolved, if you need hope at the end, this might wreck you. It's a beautiful, brutal film about how easy it is to destroy something good and how impossible it is to get it back. The thing that stays with me about the Banshees of Inisherin is how small the stakes are and how enormous they feel. Two guys on an island. One doesn't want to be friends anymore, that's it. But McDonagh uses that tiny story to talk about nations tearing themselves apart, about the choice between legacy and humanity, about how violence, even quiet self-inflicted violence, echoes forever. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.